Oh, at least we don't go in for this shoelaces untied crap. You know that. Psh, psh. How do you do a slap me five with one person in the room? That's how, I guess. Welcome, huge movie fanatic Nate, stopping on by. Seeing as how we find ourselves in April of this year, 2026, I thought it only made sense to stop on by and read from this, read aloud once again, from the official Splatter Movie Guide, and this time do a reading of the film from 1986, frickin' 40-year-old movie by the name of April Fool's Day, the original April Fool's Day, a movie that you can see my review of it that I hold in relatively, well, I mean, I like it more than I think it's necessarily a good movie. You can watch my review to find out how I feel about that. I saw it when I was a teenager, so it holds a special place in my heart, but seeing as how we find ourselves in April, before April ended, I wanted to stop on by and do a reading of April Fool's Day from the official Splatter Movie Guide and see what they have to say about it. Just like all the readings I've done from this book thus far, I haven't read this previously, so me reading it on camera is the first time I'm reading it, so I get to react accordingly. And then after I read the synopsis, or not the synopsis, but the spiel from this book, I'll share my thoughts on their thoughts, or his thoughts, or whoever wrote the particular spiel's thoughts, and then the video will end, unfortunately. As you can see here, we've got April Fool's Day, Paramount Pictures, 1986. This one's what you might call a splattery, shaggy dog tale. Foreman invites a desperate? How are they desperate? A desperate group of college chums for a... Okay. Foreman invites a desperate group of college chums to her island home for a weekend of partying. Well, I don't know why he says they're desperate. The unnerving tone of the weekend is set on the ferry boat ride over, when a couple of her male guests pull an April Fool's Day joke that results in one of the crew members getting his face crushed. More April Fool's pranks ensue as the weekend wears on. Then things turn serious as one by one the college chums get knocked off in typical Friday the 13th fashion. Throat slashings, decapitations, castration, etc. You don't see any of the stuff happening. I guess you see the aftermath or whatever, or abbreviated aftermath. It sounds like it's a gore fest, but it is not if you've seen the movie. Seems Foreman has a demented twin who escaped from a loony bin to take her place for the weekend. Or did she? Perhaps everything's just an elaborate April Fool's joke. Or is it? I won't tell. Cleverly directed and and amusingly acted by its youthful ensemble cast. April Fool's Day definitely isn't great, but it does have its moments. Yeah, the last several sentences of that little synopsis or little spiel I agree with completely. Like the cast is probably my favorite thing about it. The cast and the characters that or the characters I should say, and the cast members that fill those parts. And so I would agree. And the last bit said whatever it said. The not great, but definitely what did it say? It's not great, but it definitely has its moments. I would agree. And as I said, if you see my review of it, my favorite part of the movie is the first third, when all the actors are still quote unquote alive, and all the fun to be had with the characters and the wonderful performers that pull off or portray those characters. So I'd more or less agree with the spiel from this book this time around. If you've seen a handful or perhaps all of my readings from the official Splatter Film Guide, is it Splatter? Oh, Splatter Movie Guide. See, good thing I looked at it. Splatter Movie Guide. Sometimes I agree and sometimes I don't agree with the spiels and stuff, but that'll happen. We're not all going to have the same thoughts on stuff. And as I said in several videos, like sometimes there's like initials after the thing, and I can only assume if there's not an initial it's the actual John McCarty, you know, his actual thoughts on something, and maybe, you know, if there is initials, it's someone else's thoughts or whatever. But yeah, if you haven't seen my review of April Fool's Day from 1986, please feel free to do so. There's a review from, like, I think, was it 2012 that me and Matt did, and then I did a review, was it 10 years later, and in 2022 of the movie and the Scream Factory Blu-ray, and you know, so there's two reviews on this channel of April Fool's Day, and then I'm actually going to be, you know, in 5 days or so, or in a number of days, I will be regaling you with showcasing of the original North American VHS of April Fool's Day, so you'll have that to look forward to this month before April comes and goes as well. So I guess that pretty much does it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, we'll catch you on the next video.